I stand before you today not as someone who has figured it all out, but as a woman who has walked through trials, embraced the challenges, and come out stronger on the other side. We all know that strength is not born from comfort. It's forged in the fire of adversity. As women, we carry the weight of so much. We carry dreams, families, responsibilities, and yes, sometimes even the weight of the world. But let me remind you, strength is not the absence of vulnerability. It is the courage to rise, the will to persevere, and the grace to keep moving forward. Today, I want to share with you the 7 steps to becoming a woman of strength. Not a strength that's measured by how much you can endure alone, but a strength rooted in knowing who you are, trusting in your purpose, and walking boldly in your power. So take a deep breath, open your hearts, and let's journey together toward unlocking the woman of strength that resides in each and every one of you. Vulnerability is often seen as a weakness in many aspects of society, but I am here to tell you that vulnerability is one of the greatest sources of strength you will ever find. As women, we are often conditioned to believe that we must be strong at all times, that we must present a face of perfection, always capable and in control. But in truth, strength is not found in our ability to hide our weaknesses or emotions. It is found in our ability to embrace them, to sit with the discomfort and still rise. We all have our own unique journeys, and part of those journeys involves moments of pain, disappointment, and uncertainty. These moments can feel overwhelming, but it is within these moments that we can experience some of our greatest transformations. Allowing ourselves to be vulnerable doesn't mean we are weak. It means we are brave enough to confront the depths of our hearts and minds, understanding that healing, growth, and empowerment come from accepting what is. Vulnerability opens the door to authenticity. And when we are authentic, we tap into a power that cannot be taken away from us. When we embrace vulnerability, we allow ourselves to feel and express our true emotions without judgment. It's a sign of inner strength to be able to acknowledge when we are struggling, to admit when we are hurt, and to express when we feel fear. By doing so, we create space for growth. We give ourselves permission to heal. By leaning into vulnerability, we stop suppressing our emotions and start processing them. We give ourselves the grace to heal at our own pace without feeling the pressure to put on a mask for others or ourselves. In those raw moments, we reclaim our power. Vulnerability is not about being weak. It is about being human. And that humanity is the foundation of our strength. For many women, there is an innate desire to be everything for everyone. We take on multiple roles: daughter, sister, friend, wife, mother, and many more, often putting our own needs, desires, and well-being at the bottom of the list. Society places high expectations on women to maintain composure at all times, to be constantly nurturing, and to never show signs of weakness. However, the cost of this is often a disconnection from our own feelings and needs. When we suppress vulnerability, we suppress our true selves. The result is that we may find ourselves exhausted, disconnected, and ultimately unfulfilled. The truth is, embracing our vulnerability allows us to become more compassionate toward ourselves. It's in those moments of vulnerability that we find compassion, not just for others, but for ourselves. It's an act of love to recognize when you are hurting and to give yourself the space and the grace to heal. Being vulnerable with ourselves means acknowledging that it's okay to not have all the answers, that it's okay to ask for help, and that it's okay to cry when we need to. We are human beings, not machines, and allowing ourselves to feel is a necessary part of the process. As women, we are taught to be resilient to withstand the storms that come our way. But resilience is not about pushing through everything without ever acknowledging the impact it has on us. Resilience is about how we bounce back, and vulnerability plays a crucial role in that. When we allow ourselves to feel, we give ourselves permission to heal. Healing creates the foundation for resilience. Vulnerability is the soil in which our resilience can grow. When we acknowledge our pain, grief, and fear, we are not admitting defeat. We are stepping into our power. Embracing vulnerability also allows us to connect more deeply with others. When we allow ourselves to show up as our authentic selves, without the fear of judgment or rejection, we create opportunities for deeper relationships. People are drawn to authenticity because it is rare. When you open up about your struggles and challenges, you give others permission to do the same. In those moments of shared vulnerability, bonds are formed. Vulnerability is the bridge that connects us all, and through these connections, we find strength. Strength is not found in isolation, but in community. The more we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, the more we invite others to do the same, and together, we rise. This idea of vulnerability being tied to strength is particularly powerful when we consider the ways in which women have historically been expected to endure challenges without complaint. Women have been expected to hold everything together, to maintain the home, the family, and the work life, often at the expense of their own mental and emotional health. This expectation creates an illusion of strength that is rooted in suppression and denial rather than in the fullness of our emotional experiences. When we suppress our vulnerability, we build walls around ourselves, walls that prevent us from truly living and thriving. These walls are not protection, they are prisons. The true power in vulnerability lies in its ability to transform us. When we open ourselves up to our emotions and allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we are forced to confront our fears, doubts, and insecurities. And while this can be uncomfortable, it is also the path to self-discovery. It is only by leaning into vulnerability that we uncover the depth of who we are. It is in those moments of honesty with ourselves that we grow, that we evolve, and that we step into the fullness of our potential. Vulnerability is not something to be feared, it is something to be embraced because it is the catalyst for transformation. One of the most profound lessons we can learn is that vulnerability does not make us less, it makes us more. When we allow ourselves to feel, to express, and to be seen in our true form, we are not diminished, we are amplified. Our stories, our experiences, and our emotions are what make us who we are, and they are the very things that give us strength. Our vulnerability is a testament to our resilience. It's a reminder that we have the courage to face what others may shy away from, and it's proof that we are capable of embracing our imperfections and still rising to become the women we were always meant to be. So, embrace your vulnerability, my sisters. It is not a sign of weakness, but of immense strength. Allow yourself to feel, to heal, and to grow. By doing so, you will not only unlock the power within yourself, but will also inspire those around you to do the same. Strength comes from embracing every part of who you are, especially the parts that are tender, raw, and vulnerable. And in that vulnerability, you will discover the true depth of your power. Understanding your self-worth is the foundation upon which you will build the strength to overcome life's challenges. It is not something that can be given to you by others, nor is it something that can be taken away. It is something that must come from within you, something that you must cultivate, nurture, and protect at all costs. The journey of recognizing your worth is not always an easy one, but it is one of the most empowering paths you will walk. When you know your value, you stop settling for less than you deserve, and you begin to live in alignment with your true potential. So many of us have spent years, if not decades, seeking validation from others, whether it's from family, friends, colleagues, or society. We measure our worth based on external factors such as achievements, appearances, or how much we can do for others. This external validation may provide temporary satisfaction, but it does not lead to lasting fulfillment. Your worth is not determined by what others think of you, nor is it based on your accomplishment. It comes from deep within your soul, and once you learn to see yourself through the lens of your own value, nothing can shake you. Learning to value yourself means no longer allowing the opinions of others to define who you are. It means breaking free from the limiting beliefs and negative self-talk that have been ingrained in you for so long. You must reject the idea that your worth is tied to your productivity, your ability to meet expectations, or your ability to please others. The truth is, you are valuable simply because you exist. Your existence itself is a gift to the world, and the world is better because you are in it. But in a world that often pushes us to conform, to shrink, or to silence our voices, it can be easy to forget our inherent worth. Society frequently sends the message that we must be more accomplished, more beautiful, more successful, more giving, more perfect in order to be worthy of love, respect, and acceptance. We are bombarded with messages that make us feel inadequate or unimportant. But we must realize that our worth is not contingent upon any of these external measures. It is something that comes from knowing who we are, not from what we do or how we are perceived. One of the most powerful things you can do for yourself is to spend time developing a healthy sense of self-love. Self-love is not about being narcissistic or self-centered. It's about recognizing that you deserve kindness, respect, and care. It's about acknowledging your strengths and weaknesses without judgment and giving yourself permission to be imperfect. Self-love is about treating yourself with the same compassion and empathy that you offer to others. It's about saying to yourself, I am worthy of all the good things life has to offer. When you cultivate self-love, you stop waiting for others to validate you. You validate yourself. And this internal validation becomes your guiding light. Once you begin to embrace your self-worth, you will stop settling for situations, relationships, or environments that diminish you. For too long, many women have accepted less than they deserve because they didn't believe they were worthy of more. They tolerated unhealthy relationships, toxic work environments, and negative self-talk because they did not recognize their own value. But when you understand that you are worthy of love, respect, and abundance, you stop compromising yourself to fit into places and spaces that are not meant for you. You set boundaries and stand firm in your right to take up space in this world. You no longer shrink yourself to make others feel comfortable, and you no longer tolerate being treated in ways that do not reflect your worth. Knowing your worth also empowers you to make decisions that align with your values and goals. You begin to prioritize what truly matters to you and stop trying to please everyone around you. You learn to say no when something doesn't serve your highest good, and you say yes to opportunities that allow you to grow, thrive, and express your true self. This doesn't mean that you won't face challenges or setbacks, but it does mean that you will approach these challenges with the confidence that you deserve the best and will not settle for less. When you know your worth, you stop allowing fear to hold you back from stepping into your full potential. So often, we allow fear to dictate our actions. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. But when you recognize your value, you understand that failure is not a reflection of your worth. It is simply a part of the journey. Your worth remains intact regardless of the outcomes or the obstacles you face. Fear becomes less of a barrier and more of a signal to push forward with courage and faith in your abilities. You understand that you are deserving of success, happiness, and fulfillment, and that no external challenge can diminish your worth. Moreover, when you understand your worth, you begin to attract the right people and opportunities into your life. People who see and respect your value will be drawn to you. You will start to build relationships that are rooted in mutual respect and admiration. No longer will you find yourself in relationships where you feel undervalued or neglected. Instead, you will find yourself surrounded by individuals who recognize your worth and honor your boundaries. This shift in relationships is not coincidental. It is a direct result of you recognizing and embracing your own value. Self-worth also plays a crucial role in your mental and emotional well-being. When you are aware of your worth, You stop internalizing negativity and begin to protect your peace. You no longer carry the weight of others' opinions or judgments. You stop letting external circumstances dictate your internal state of being. This doesn't mean you won't experience difficult emotions or challenges, but it does mean that you will have the strength to navigate them with grace and resilience. You understand that your worth is not defined by your circumstances or the opinions of others. And this inner knowing becomes your anchor in times of difficulty. Additionally, recognizing your worth allows you to live more authentically. When you know who you are and what you stand for, you can show up in the world as your true self without fear of judgment or rejection. You begin to let go of the need to conform or to fit into societal molds. Instead, you honor your unique qualities, strengths, and perspectives. You celebrate your individuality and embrace what makes you different. This authenticity not only brings a sense of peace, but also allows you to contribute to the world in a way that is true to you. You stop seeking validation from external sources because you are fully aware of your own value. Ultimately, recognizing and embracing your self-worth is the key to unlocking your fullest potential. It is the gateway to a life filled with purpose, passion, and abundance. When you know your worth, you step into your power and begin to live a life that reflects your highest aspirations. You stop living for others and start living for yourself, fully aware that you are worthy of everything you desire and more. The world needs women who know their worth, because it is only when we step into our true power that we can change the world. And as you walk this journey of self-discovery and empowerment, remember that your worth is non-negotiable and no one can ever take it away from you. Standing in your power means fully embracing who you are and acknowledging that you are capable of achieving everything you desire. It requires you to stop dimming your light to make others comfortable and to instead show up as your authentic self unapologetically. Too often, we hold ourselves back, whether from fear of judgment, fear of failure, or fear of rejection. But the truth is, you were never meant to shrink, to hide, or to be anything less than powerful. When you stand in your power, you release all limitations and step into the truth of who you were always meant to be. You are not here to play small. You are here to shine brightly, to claim your space, and to make your mark on the world. One of the first steps in standing in your power is understanding that your power is rooted within you. It does not depend on external validation, approval, or circumstances. Your power is something that cannot be taken away because it is intrinsic to who you are. The moment you begin to recognize this, you take the first step in unlocking your true potential. Your power is not something you need to earn or seek approval for. It is already there, waiting for you to claim it. By acknowledging this truth, you break free from the chains of self-doubt, insecurity, and fear, allowing yourself to fully express who you are. The fear of judgment is one of the biggest barriers to standing in your power. As women, we are often conditioned to seek validation from others. Whether it's our families, friends, or society at large, we are told what is acceptable, what is pretty, what is successful, and what is worthy. But standing in your power means releasing all of that. It means no longer living your life based on other people's standards. It means honoring your own truth, regardless of how others perceive it. When you stand in your power, you stop seeking approval and start creating a life that aligns with your values, your dreams, and your vision. This requires deep self-acceptance. To stand in your power, you must first accept yourself exactly as you are. Imperfections, flaws, strengths, and all. You must stop holding yourself to unrealistic standards of perfection, because perfection is not the goal. The goal is to embrace your uniqueness and to trust that you are enough just as you are. This means accepting the parts of yourself that you may have tried to hide or deny, and recognizing that these parts are a valuable part of your story. Your experiences, your scars, your failures, and your triumphs all contribute to the person you are today, and they make you powerful in ways you may not yet fully understand. To stand in your power also means letting go of the need to control everything. Life is unpredictable, and there will always be things beyond your control. However, what you can control is how you show up in the world. You can control your mindset, your actions, and your decisions. This doesn't mean that you can avoid all challenges or difficulties, but it does mean that you have the power to choose how you respond to them. When you stand in your power, you trust yourself to navigate whatever comes your way, knowing that you are more than capable of handling life's challenges. Your power lies not in controlling every outcome, but in trusting yourself and your ability to adapt, learn, and grow. Another aspect of standing in your power is recognizing your worth and the value of your time. Time is one of the most valuable resources we have, and once it is spent, we cannot get it back. To stand in your power means to use your time wisely, to invest it in things and people that align with your values and contribute to your growth. You stop wasting time on things that drain you or bring you no fulfillment. Instead, you focus on the things that make you feel alive, inspired, and empowered. Standing in your power means saying no when something doesn't serve you and saying yes to the opportunities that will propel you forward in the direction of your dreams. Your power is also tied to your voice. Too often, women are told to be quiet, to speak less, or to wait for permission before expressing themselves. But when you stand in your power, you speak up. You share your thoughts, your ideas, your dreams, and your boundaries with confidence. Your voice is one of your greatest tools for creating change, not only in your own life, but in the lives of others. When you speak your truth, you invite others to do the same. You create space for others to be authentic, and you become a source of inspiration for those around you. Standing in your power means trusting that what you have to say matters and that your voice deserves to be heard. It is also essential to surround yourself with people who support and uplift you. Standing in your power does not mean doing everything alone. On the contrary, it requires surrounding yourself with people who recognize your value, believe in your potential, and encourage your growth. This may mean letting go of toxic relationships or distancing yourself from people who bring you down. The energy you surround yourself with plays a significant role in your ability to stand in your power. When you are around people who see your worth, they help you see it too. They remind you of your strength when you forget it and challenge you to step into your greatness when you hesitate. Another key aspect of standing in your power is taking ownership of your decisions and your actions. This means no longer playing the victim or blaming external circumstances for where you are in life. Standing in your power requires taking responsibility for your choices, knowing that you have the ability to create the life you desire. It means recognizing that you have the power to change your situation, to shift your mindset, and to make decisions that will align you with your purpose. When you take ownership of your actions, you stop giving your power away to circumstances, people, or situations. You reclaim control of your life and take the steps necessary to create the future you want. Standing in your power also requires an unwavering belief in yourself. There will be times when doubt creeps in, when you question your abilities or wonder if you're on the right path. In those moments, you must remind yourself of your worth, your strengths, and your past successes. You must trust that you have everything you need within you to navigate whatever challenges come your way. When you believe in yourself, you will take bold actions, make decisions that align with your vision, and trust that the universe will support you on your journey. Finally, standing in your power means taking care of your mind, body, and spirit. You cannot show up as your best self if you are not nurturing your well-being. This means prioritizing your health, both mentally and physically. It means making time for self-care, setting boundaries to protect your energy, and ensuring that you are in the best possible position to thrive. When you take care of yourself, you are better equipped to handle the demands of life and to show up as the powerful woman you are meant to be. When you stand in your power, you embody everything that you are capable of becoming. You trust yourself, you embrace your worth, and you confidently walk in alignment with your purpose. You stop waiting for permission and start taking the steps necessary to create the life you've always dreamed of. And when you do, you inspire others to do the same.